Hey friends, it's Joe from aFamilyFrenzy. I'm working on running and walking 4,000 miles for equity. During the next weeks, months, and years, I will be running or walking 4,000 miles in order to raise awareness of systemic inequity. My hope is to address the current climate of America, as well as what people can be feeling internationally right now based on the insurrection that occurred at our Capitol yesterday. So this will be both a political commentary, but also a commentary on the intersection of politics and race. The first place I want to start is just to address that it was very hard for many people on Thursday to go to work. I just want to start in that space. It was a hard day for everybody, regardless of your race, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of your nation of origin and your current nationality. It was a very difficult day to show up at work and pretend to be okay. Let's say there's this stunning silence within our places of work concerning current events. I was privileged, I work for Johnson & Johnson, I was privileged that there were two statements made by our CEO internally on the matter. I haven't seen anything externally on the matter, renouncing the acts of violence at the Capitol. But yet at a VP, a director level, at a team leadership level, there was zero response. That me as, let's say, a mid-tier, low-tier employee had to take the initiative to reach out to the entire team and acknowledge the things that occurred and ask people, if you need a space to talk, I can provide that. There is something terribly wrong with that. It doesn't mean that what I'm doing is not great, but that people at a higher level can't acknowledge what's occurring in our country and the toll it takes on our mental health is poor leadership. Now, that said, they are also struggling to navigate their own mental health and lead. But let me provide an example of how to do it wrong. There is a high-level director of multiple companies within our company who, following the CEO's email on what occurred at the Capitol, then posted his day one email that was talking about all the great accomplishments he had in 2020, the whole franchise had, and where we're moving in 2021, and the great things we could accomplish together. And it was a polished email that probably took a lot of time and people, but to still send that the first day back at work is incredibly tone deaf, and it negates the emotional experiences of everyone at your business. I think we need to unpack this issue over time, but if you are in leadership and you are watching this, I would implore you to deeply consider what is occurring in our country and how you can speak to both liberals and Republicans, to both white people and black people and other people of color, to address the immense anger, insecurity, and fear your organizations are experiencing, because that is what model leadership looks like right now. But because we are so afraid to take any political stance or to offend anyone, we actually offend everyone. And that's what's occurring across America as well as in other global markets. I'm going to talk about my colleagues who are black and how they see the disparity in handling of white, male, predominantly male protesters at the Capitol that broke into government soil versus those that were peacefully protesting at DC that were tear gassed in order to make room for a photo op in front of a church. Like, those things just deepen the divide and fear of authority within the black community and communities of color. Like, we're going to go into those spaces, but it's also hard for people that really support Trump and don't know where they stand right now, or want to decouple the actions of minor players with a sprinkling of Antifa from a leader that told them to show force and walk to the Capitol, understanding what his people could do. There is a lot of division, there's a lot of pain, and there's a lot of inequity. And my hope is, over the coming weeks, months, and years, as you walk with me and run with me in these spaces, we can be more proximal to the items that deeply hurt and afflict subsets of our population, and find better ways to mediate across those inequities. With that, I'll see you around. But quickly, while you're here, want to let you know, me and my wife stream on Twitch. We do cooking, VR, chores, and more. And we stream as a whole family with my 4-year-old son and my 2-year-old daughter. So we welcome you into those spaces. We like to foster open dialogue across the barriers of race, ethnicity, culture, politics, faith, gender, science, and more. So we hope that you can come by and we can dig deeper into this conversation.